Michael, good evening. Manmeet Sharma was a very popular member of the Indian community here, an accomplished singer as well, and his friends tell us he was due to be married next year. Now, he does have a couple of cousins here in Australia, but his parents are in India. I am advised they were told this dreadful news just in the past couple of hours or so. As for the man accused of this, Anthony O'Donoghue, he has a colourful past. He used to work as an accountant for Queensland Rail, became a disgruntled employee at war with managers and unions as well before he left. He received burns in this incident. He has been treated for those and is going to be asked plenty of questions tonight, the first of which, obviously, Michael, is why.
Indeed. OK, thank you, Rob. Rob Bavadia in Brisbane. A Canberra father has paid tribute to his 2 adult children lost in the Dreamworld theme park disaster. Shane Goodchild's daughter Kate is survived by her own 2 girls, one too young to ever remember her mother.
At the gates of Dreamworld, a queue unlike any seen before. These were around 500 of the park's staff, left shattered and in shock by Tuesday's tragedy, as they added to the tributes at the growing shrine to those killed. In Canberra, a family shared their unimaginable loss. Father Shane Goodchild, Kate's partner Dave Turner.
Who less than 3 days ago lost the love of his life, the mother of his 2 children, in the most tragic of circumstances. I have lost my only daughter, Kate, my youngest son, Luke,
and Luke's beloved partner of 10 years, Ruzi.
Their loss will be deeply felt, not just amongst our families, but amongst all of their friends and work colleagues.
Dave was next to the ride, holding 8-month-old daughter Evie when it happened. 12-year-old Ebony was sitting next to her mum when they were thrown into the water.
Dave not only has to deal with his own grief, but be strong for their beautiful daughters. We also all have to help 2 little girls start to come to the fact that their mum is never coming home.
They are grateful for the prayers and support of friends and strangers.
Like everyone else in Australia, we want to know what went wrong. We want to know why our loved ones were taken from us.
One answer from Dreamworld today.
The ride operator in control of the Thunder River Rapids rides was an experienced operator with the competency, training to operate that ride.
Dreamworld's corporate boss admitting its response, not directly contacting victims' families, may have been lacking.
If I hadn't handled it as well as I could, we thought we were doing the right thing in terms of the way that we approached it through the police.
This family now asks the company to speak to them through their lawyer. Paul Karak, 7 News.
Live now to reporter Bianca Stone at Dreamworld. Bianca, good evening. The park now not reopening this weekend. Is there an update on when it might?
Michael, Dreamworld management now says out of respect the park will remain closed until the funerals are held for all of those 4 victims. Even after the doors here reopen, though, all of the rides may not be operational for some time. There will be an internal and external audit of all attractions in a bid to restore faith in this company.
OK, thank you. Bianca Stone at Dreamworld. He would well suit the definition of a monster, a father who will likely die in jail, sentenced today for the rape and torture of his own daughter. The law prevents his naming, but the judge described his 13 years of depravity as being of unimaginable magnitude. The girl's mother also abused her and has also been jailed.
In this shed, the girl would spend days tied with rope, imprisoned with barbed wire, a noose around her neck. Her father held her head underwater until she thought she was going to die. Over 13 years, her parents abused her in the most awful ways. Her father, convicted on 73 counts, was today sentenced to a total of 999 years. The judge handed down an aggregated sentence of 48 years, the longest in Australian history. Would you like to give us a comment about the sentence? No relatives can be identified to protect the victim. Her mother received 16 years jail for her involvement. The eldest of 4 children, the victim was an elite athlete striving to please her father, who coached her. Judge Sarah Huggett said the enormity of the abuse represents a depravity of an almost unimaginable magnitude. She said the 59-year-old, who once qualified to represent Australia at the Olympics, was overconfident, arrogant and has an inflated sense of self-worth. In a victim impact statement, the now adult daughter said, "I hope to have a moment in my life where I do not suffer from the horrific memories of abuse." As the sentence was handed down, the father shook his head. He and his wife maintain they are innocent and they have shown no remorse, which only added to the severity of their jail term. But it is surely their eldest daughter who will have to live with the harshest sentence of all in this terrible case.
We know that with the right support and the right positive validation, empathy, that people can recover over time.
The girl's mother will be eligible for parole in 2027, her father in 2049. Brian Seymour, 7 News.
3 days on from the shocking gangland shooting at George's Hall, police have found the getaway car used by Hamad Assad's killers. A black Audi burnt out on a suburban street, discovered just hours before the victim was laid to rest, police watching on.
A crucial piece of evidence in a gangland murder, torched on the side of the road.
This car is on fire right in front of my house.
The black Audi, believed to be the getaway car in the shooting of Hamad Assad, was set alight in Birong overnight.
The car window and everything was exploding, the wheels.
Found on the day mourners gathered for his funeral, paying their respects as Assad was laid to rest at Rookwood Cemetery, a police helicopter hovering overhead. The 29-year-old was gunned down in the driveway of his George's Hall home on Tuesday. It was 9:20 a.m. when 2 masked gunmen ambushed him. They fled in the Audi 4-wheel drive, seen here seconds later in security video obtained exclusively by 7 News. After hearing the loud gunshots, workers stepped outside. Minutes later, police arrived and secured the crime scene. Detectives are still trying to confirm a motive. Assad was a suspect in the shooting of crime kingpin Walid Ahmad back in April. The torched getaway car was towed away early this morning. It will now undergo a forensic examination as detectives continue the hunt for Assad's killers. A task made more difficult by a wall of silence. Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
The federal government is looking at more changes to welfare after it was revealed that single unemployed parents are pocketing more in benefits than if they worked. In some cases, they're getting almost $20,000 more in the hand than the minimum wage.
Single mum Carol Ann Harris says bringing up 1-year-old Bentley is a financial struggle.
Staying at my parents' house because I can't really afford to move out at the moment.
Her plea to the government:
please don't cut the money.
But a new analysis suggests many on welfare are faring too well.
The welfare system has crept and crept and crept.
An unemployed single mother with 4 children is entitled to parenting payments, family tax benefits and energy supplements of more than $52,000 a year, $18,000 more than getting work on the minimum wage.
It is a crying shame that some Australians would have to take a pay cut to get a job.
The government is looking for new ways to break the welfare cycle and encourage people to move from welfare to work.
It must provide a fair and generous safety net, but it also must provide real incentives.
An out-of-touch lecture from their harbourside mansions.
The government's objective is to rein in spending, but Labor says it has its priorities all wrong.
But if this government wants to save some taxpayer money, don't hand out $50 billion in tax cuts to large multinationals and the big banks.
Once again, their answer is just no, no, no.
The government says it has a moral responsibility to address intergenerational welfare dependency.
We're going to trap hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Australians in a welfare net they'll never escape from.
Carol Ann Harris says making ends meet is already a challenge.
It's just hard, yeah, it is.
The eternal struggle of the work-life balance. Mark Riley, 7 News.
The state government has cash to splash thanks to the extra billions raised in the recent power privatisation. Now, 7 News can confirm where the money's going. The road and rail projects to be fast-tracked across Sydney.
The NorthConnex toll road is expected to be the first of Sydney's new motorways to open in 2019.
It's the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere in terms of road tunnels.
And now 7 News can reveal the government is fast-tracking plans to build more road and rail connections following the $16 billion lease of electricity business Ausgrid last week.
The great news to the people of this city and across the state is we want to do more and we will do more.
Senior sources have told 7 News that means accelerating the planned Second Harbour Road tunnel, running under the harbour from the WestConnex exit at Rozelle to Gore Hill, expected to cost at least $5 billion.
Busting congestion to cut travel times. so it's quicker for people to get to work and get home.
Another new motorway running south to the Shire, the many times promised F6 extension, is also on the turbocharged list, along with a new metro train connecting the city, Inner West and Parramatta. It's believed those three projects head the Premier's to-do list.
There will be more projects. The extra funding that we've secured means that we want to do more infrastructure.
Infrastructure experts say it's not only easier to pay for the projects now, but also build them, with much of the equipment needed already here working on the new motorways and metro.
We know that these projects need to be built. A lot of them were planned in the 50s but haven't advanced because we haven't been able to scrape the money together.
Live now to State Political reporter Lee Jelisek with a major blunder involving properties that need to be acquired. Lee, good evening. What's happened?
Well, Michael, it involves properties which are needed to make way for government projects like road and rail lines. Now, usually these properties have a warning notice attached to them, but a government department has allowed up to 140 transactions without warning the people involved that they could potentially lose their homes. Now, they're mainly near the F6 corridor in southern Sydney and the Werrington Arterial in the west. Now, teams will spend the weekend door knocking to investigate just how bad the damage is. Michael?
OK, Lee Jelisek, thank you very much. Barack Obama made history as the first black American president. Now his wife has joined Hillary Clinton to have the first woman elected as Commander-in-Chief. They're hoping their double act overshadows damaging new leaks about Clinton's charity.
Once campaign rivals, now gushing allies.
Seriously, is there anyone more inspiring than Michelle Obama?
As they reminisced,
to see the President and the First Lady dance.
It was clear Clinton was the warm-up act in her own show.
Michelle Obama!
With popularity Clinton could only dream of, Michelle Obama tried to bury old wounds.
If people wonder, yes, Hillary Clinton is my friend.
One, she says, with the maturity to lead.
She is absolutely ready to be Commander-in-Chief on day one, and yes, she happens to be a woman. First ladies, we rock.
Michelle Obama doesn't really like being in the political spotlight, but she's fiercely protective of her husband's legacy. And the best way to protect that is by making sure Hillary Clinton wins.
But the latest WikiLeaks dump is damaging. Emails show the Clintons cashed in while Hillary was Secretary of State, using their charity to secure $65 million in paid gigs for Bill.
Just imagine what they'll do given the chance to once again control the Oval Office.
Trump's campaign slid dangerously off course when his running mate's plane skidded off a New York runway. Governor Mike Pence was unhurt, as Trump spent the day trying to stay on course, surprising wife Melania with a new role.
She's actually going to make 2 or 3 speeches. And I will tell you. Made some news right there.
Mrs. Trump says, as First Lady, she'd focus on kids and the impact of social media while sitting next to the man famous for Twitter tantrums. In North Carolina, Angela Cox, 7 News.
War medals hold great sentimental value for anyone who served and their families, but to anyone else they have no worth. So, why steal them? It's a heartbreaking question that can't be answered by the daughter of a Sydney war veteran who's pleading for the return of her father's medals, stolen from the family's home in the Blue Mountains.
Anne Summers lost her father William 15 years ago. The grandfather of 10 served in Borneo during World War II. Now the family's most precious souvenirs, his war medals, have been taken from them.
They are a really important part of, our family and the history of the war. They're real. Mum was devastated, and so was my sister. We all are.
Anne's mother's Glenbrook home was turned upside down by thieves on Tuesday last week. A laptop and iPad was stolen. But a few days later, the widow realised her sentimental keepsakes were missing.
She just cried and cried and cried because that's all we've got left.
3 Australian service medals similar to these, awarded to William in the 1940s.
Who knows what the motivation was?
it's just disappointing.
The Summers family has a message for whoever did this. They don't care about the iPad or the laptop. These medals are priceless heirlooms and they just want them back.
And take stuff you can sell. If that's what you need to do, take stuff you can sell. Somebody might collect, I don't know, but they actually really mean something to us.
We would love to recover these for the family and certainly try and give them back a little bit of dignity.
Jessica Dietrich, 7 News.
Let's take a quick look at Sydney's weather now. Hello, Angie. It's been a gloomy Friday.
It has, Michael. Good evening. Cool and cloudy right across the region. Temperatures were a couple of degrees below average. We're still sitting on a mild 19 degrees at the moment. Despite those overcast conditions, we didn't record much in the way of rainfall, just a couple of mils in the gauge right along the coast. The best totals, though, were in the Blue Mountains, recording up to 10 mils there overnight. The good news is, from here, temperatures are headed in one direction this weekend, and that is up. I'll have those details for you a little later, Michael.
We'll see you then, Angie. Thank you very much. Police are warning pedestrians against dicing with death on busy roads. Shocking pictures from near Penrith, that's next. Also, a former top cop's parting spray at his bosses. The grim prediction: are our favourite wild animals facing the same fate as dinosaurs? Details about the new Aussie treatment that seeks out and silences pain in your body. And royal chores, the Queen's rare public appearance, that's next.
The day. The hour.
They're off.
The roar.
This is it.
The power. It all starts with Derby Day. Then, the race that stops the nation.
The champion becomes a legend.
Where history is made.
The first lady to win the Melbourne Cup.
Live and free on 7 and all devices. Derby Day and Melbourne Cup on 7 and streaming on Plus 7 Live.
Here for the mainland cheese.
Big truck. How many wheels has it got? He'll grab the next one in a sec.
Because Mainland gets better with age, we try to hold on to it that little bit longer. Mainland, aged longer for a better taste.
'Tis the season to save big. The breakthrough new age of buying, taking away all your Christmas worries.
No deposit, interest-free.
All the top brands, everything you need. No credit card bills, no stress. First on 7 News, how Sydney families are now saving thousands. That's coming up on 7 News.
It's a Harvey Norman fridge and freezer frenzy. Huge deals across our huge range of fridges and freezers. Plus bonus delivery, install and removal on all fridge and freezer purchases. Plus additional cashbacks on selected models. This Hisense bottom mount fridge, a crazy $669. This Westinghouse 460-litre fridge, only $845 plus $100 cashback. This Samsung French door fridge, $1588 plus $100 cashback. Many more deals across a huge range. Hurry, Harvey Norman fridge and freezer frenzy ends Monday.
Go!
The Polo with handy rear view camera. Yours from only $16,990.
Volkswagen.
Right now, we're giving 250,000 Velocity frequent flyer points with an eligible NAB home loan plus banking bundle to take you on a well-deserved trip across the globe. So make the leap into your new home today, and we'll help you land a holiday tomorrow.
This is thundering hooves and pounding hearts. Ladbrokes have saved their best odds of the year for the Spring Carnival. Yours in the Victoria Derby at Flemington. Who will you bet against?
Choose the way you save on kitchen and laundry at Seconds World.
Seconds World's Kitchen and Laundry Clear Out on now, in store and online. Choose the way you save on kitchen and laundry at Seconds World.
Welcome back. Police are warning pedestrians not to take dangerous risks on our roads after a man was critically injured in Kingswood. Security video shows him racing across the Great Western Highway moments before he was struck by a car last night. He suffered multiple injuries and was taken to Westmead Hospital, where he's still in a critical condition. Investigators are looking for the driver of the white Volkswagen involved. It was a farewell worthy of one of the country's most decorated police officers. Hundreds gathered to hear Nick Caldis say his final goodbyes to the force after more than 3 decades of service. But it's what the former Deputy Commissioner didn't say that got people talking.
Farewelling the force, Nick Caldis thanked some of the people at his tribute night.
Commissioner Mike Bush from New Zealand, Commissioner Ian Stewart from Queensland.
But no mention of New South Wales Commissioner Andrew Scipione nor Deputy Catherine Byrne, perhaps heeding this advice.
I should talk about those who I like, not those who I don't like.
Only minutes earlier, the Commissioner had heaped praise on him.
Nick, you have always been a tremendous asset to the New South Wales Police Force.
The tension at the top was reinforced when Mr Caldis joked about working in Syria.
In some ways I knew who the enemy was there.
The parting shot follows a bit of falling out over who would take over the top job, and revelations Mr Caldis's phone was bugged during investigations into his conduct.
I, at every aspect of my being, attacked. I am unbroken, unbowed, unrepentant and unafraid.
And unfinished, if his supporters have their way.
Here's another backflip for Mr Baird. Appoint Nick Caldis as our next Police Commissioner.
To do that, the Premier would need to change laws that prevent Nick Caldis returning to the force after retiring on medical grounds. The former Deputy Commissioner could also be in trouble with the law. A report into the police bugging scandal could recommend charges against him, and the Minister says he won't be calling him back.
It's a great loss for the police force, but I know he has an exciting future ahead of him.
Alex Hart, 7 News.
Bali police have allowed cameras inside Korobakan prison, where we found Byron Bay mother Sarah Connor and her British partner David, at first holding hands, then separating. The pair is charged with murdering a Bali police officer. Their trials could begin next month. A rare visit to the shops today for the Queen. Her Majesty didn't swap her handbag for a basket, but she did visit the dairy aisle at a supermarket near Dorchester in England's south. Her Majesty received a hamper as a gift after unveiling a statue to honour the Queen Mother. Sharks Premiership star Andrew Fifita has been given another stern warning by rugby league bosses. Jim Wilson, good evening to you. Jim,
hey, Michael.
Quite a spray, this one.
Didn't miss him. Good evening to you. Good evening, everyone. ARL Chairman John Grant has let rip at Fifita, saying he needs to grow up and behave like an adult. Fifita lashed out at officials after being left out of the Kangaroos 4 Nations squad. Today, it was the get square from the ARL chief.
Fed up with Andrew Fifita's antics, John Grant unloaded on the controversial Cronulla star.
What Andrew needs to do is what he's been asked to do, which is behave like an adult. It's really as simple as that.
The NRL Integrity Unit is awaiting evidence from police investigating the extent of Fifita's relationship with one-punch killer Kieran Loveridge.
It's impossible to believe that Andrew, either through his club, through his coach, through the NRL, doesn't clearly know what's expected of him.
Fifita's subsequent threat to quit the NRL incensed power brokers at league headquarters.
Very disappointed. I mean, very disappointed for Cronulla, very disappointed for the game, very disappointed for Andrew. He doesn't need to do that. And I don't even know why there'd be any contemplation of that.
Mel Meninga drew a line in the sand, omitting Fifita from Australia's 4 Nations tour. Talent is no longer enough to earn national selection.
We're very purposefully making the Kangaroos the elite rugby league team in Australia. It's a global team, and you know, we're going to get the best, not the best players, we're going to get the best men. And that's what Mel Meninga is 100% committed to.
Laurie Daly's made significant changes to the Blues, employing John Cartwright as an assistant coach and Victoria Cross recipient Mark Donaldson as an assistant team manager. Liam Cox, 7 News.
I reckon Mark Donaldson is a very good addition to Laurie's support staff. Back shortly with Australia's first test squad. Some interesting selections.
Jimmy, thank you. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay. Drivers could soon be slugged more for fuel because of a new law. Next, the rules forcing you to buy ethanol or make you pay. Also, flames and smoke as trucks collide. The Aussie jailed for 20 years for murder in Indonesia. How she did it, it's like something out of a crime thriller. Haunting pictures from the front line in the fight against Islamic State. And the age-old secret to protecting your budget before Christmas. That's next.
What if the timeless
of Sleeping Beauty. Kiss her! Wasn't exactly like the fairy tale said. Well, well. Tonight.
True love's kiss. There is no such thing.
We have to keep looking. Angelina Jolie in Seven's enchanting premiere.
True love doesn't just fall from trees, you know? Oh, come on, that's funny.
Disney's Maleficent, tonight on 7.
There's only one Michael Bublé, and this is his brand new album, Nobody But Me. Featuring stunning classics and originals. Nobody But Me, out now.
You're not seriously buying all this, are you? Husband, fake. Children, actors. And is that an orchestra? No, that's the sound of luxury. But strip away the cliches, and what are you really paying for? A car.
The Skoda Octavia, for those who buy the car, not the ad.
Skoda, simply clever.
At Godfrey's, we're still overstocked and it's all gotta go. Hoover cordless hand sticks, half price, a red hot $149. Carpet shampoo is just $99, save $200. Philips bagless backs, $149. That's half price. It's all gotta go, but only at Godfrey's.
Sorry, Risky. Only customers get our lifetime guarantee on authorised car repairs. Get more with Budget Direct.
You don't have to be lucky to be with CrownBet Rewards. Members can use points for Crown hotels, restaurants, and even everyday items. Join right now and you'll receive $50 in rewards points to be used on all kinds of rewards. CrownBet. Reward yourself.
Society One is not a bank. We're a new breed of lending marketplace, giving you the power to find a better deal with a lending rate tailored to your unique circumstances. The world of personal lending just got a little fairer. Welcome to the new society.
I love anything with great colour because I'm a painter, so I love the quality and the clarity of the colour.
OLED is just that step higher.
And when you've got the really strong black, I think the other colours can stand out.
I enjoy good, superior technology because once you taste and see something like this, it's pretty difficult to go back.
LG OLED TV. See the difference for yourself.
The Melbourne Cup's on Tuesday, so we've got the plate that will stop the nation.
Perfect for your Cup Day hamper.
Better Homes and Gardens, next.
Welcome back. Petrol prices could rise and service stations shut down, it's claimed, because of new rules to make drivers buy unpopular ethanol fuel. Members of the government have even warned the regulation is worse than the greyhound racing ban and predict there'll be a bigger backlash.
Ethanol in fuel, good for the environment and always cheaper. It's just that drivers don't buy it.
I think it's pretty crappy stuff, to be honest with you.
They said that it's okay, but I still don't believe it.
Today there are new regulations to penalise servos for not selling enough E10.
We're trying to provide the consumers with more choice in the marketplace.
Just over 2 out of 10 drivers currently buy E10. From January, that will have to increase to 6 out of 10. If not, service stations can be fined up to $500,000. It's for operators selling more than 3.5 million litres annually.
And they'll have to meet the requirements or face the fine, which is outrageous.
Opposed even within the government.
If the government thought greyhounds was bad, this is many, many times worse.
Warning outlets close to the threshold will temporarily shut their doors to avoid fines or consider raising their prices.
By putting a dearer price on the board to keep them underneath the threshold. That doesn't help the consumer.
Like these recently installed Bowsers that prevent vapours from escaping, service station operators say they're doing their bit for the environment. Maintaining the best way for the government to encourage drivers to buy ethanol is to make it even cheaper. Instead of fines, clamping down on the ethanol wholesale price. Chris Marr, 7 News.
A former Sydney woman has smiled after being told she'll spend the next 20 years in an Indonesian jail for putting cyanide in her friend's coffee, poisoning her to death. Jessica Wongso's trial has fascinated Indonesians, with the verdict delivered live on several TV networks. She plans to appeal.
A grin from a woman who will spend the next 2 decades behind bars.
In front of a packed Indonesian court, Australian resident Jessica Kamala Wongso is found guilty of murdering her friend Wayan Mirna Salian. She rejects the verdict, calling it unfair and one-sided.
We have formally appealed against the decision and we'll see what happens in the new hearing.
At the heart of the prosecution case was damning security vision from the Jakarta cafe where Mirna was poisoned. Wongso arrived first and ordered her friend's coffee. Then, moments after Mirna takes her first sip, her head flops back. She died on the way to hospital from cyanide poisoning. Wongso was the prime suspect. The two friends studied together at Billy Blue College of Design in Sydney, but they'd fallen out when Mirna suggested Wongso break up with her boyfriend. Their Australian friends still can't believe the dispute ended in murder.
I don't think she have that capability to do such things.
The prospect of an appeal means the case that's become a national spectacle is far from over.
I respect the law. The judge has decided and will follow the case wherever it goes.
Leonie Ryan, 7 News.
Thick plumes of smoke shroud Iraqi towns near Mosul tonight as Islamic State ignite oil wells in a desperate last stand as troops close in. Oppressed residents who fled IS in the fighting are now heading into battle for their towns, encouraged by the hope of victory any day.
The daytime sky darkened by new oil fires, casting a bleak shadow over villages south of Mosul. Through the haze, residents emerge with a story of an uprising before liberation forces have even arrived.
The civilian, they make revolution, they killed from Daesh approximately 7 to 9 from Daesh.
But then he tells of Islamic State's revenge, killing those who dared to fight. The offensive to quash the terror group is loud. This would have been someone's house, and this was a police car likely stolen by Islamic State militants, both destroyed in an airstrike. After years of war, this region is battered and it will take much longer to put lives here back together. A clean-up job complicated by booby traps, this gas bottle, a bomb that hasn't been defused. The danger here will live on. In Iraq, Hugh Whitfeld, 7 News.
Conservationists have made a grim prediction that the world's wildlife population is headed for a similar fate to dinosaurs. The World Wildlife Fund says populations have been falling at an average of 2% per year since 1970. That could mean by 2020, 67% of the world's wildlife could be wiped out, except in zoos. Just one example, there are now fewer than 4,000 tigers in the wild. Poaching and destruction of habitats for mining and logging are being blamed. A tiny device that looks like an electrical cable is helping to cure chronic pain. Details are next in 7 News. Also, the court battle over Bart Cummings' multi-million-dollar estate. What is disappearing from laptops of the future?
And the showers will roll on into the weekend. Coming up, I'll tell you when to expect a break in those clouds.
Nobody expected this.
One of you will be out of the competition.
Nobody's safe. Completely unpredictable. They've got to impress the nation to survive.
After being told she'll...
What will they do? X Factor Live, Sunday.
Kia's 7-day sale is on now. On top of great drive-away deals, receive a free $500 gift card across the range. Plus, Australia's only 7-year warranty. Hurry, Kia's 7-day sale ends Monday.
Trying to get a look at the runners? Open the Sportsbet app. Now with updated form, comments and ratings, new animated speed maps and expert tips courtesy of Best Bets. Sportsbet's new racing form. Oh, I found this on the ground from some bird.
My training, my squad, my fuel, my bad, my training, my squad, my fuel. Milo, nutrition to help fuel their inner champion.
Here's a great designer tip. For a quick and easy room makeover, roller blinds are the perfect solution.
And right now, if you buy Aria roller blinds from Carpet Court, we'll install them for free.
New designer blinds and free installation, only at Carpet Court.
Love the look.
Comfort is a beef-flavoured chewable tablet that starts killing fleas in just 30 minutes. Comfort is month-long protection for both cats and dogs. Comfort is Comfortus.
We've all got different ideas for our bathroom, and Mondella has the bathroomware to match at a stunning price, like the sleek edge of Concerto, one of 7 unique and affordable styles in the range. Mondella, let your style find you.
Ooh, shortcut bacon was $2.99, now just $2.49. Let's get this sandwich started!
Stop and smell the savings at Aldi.
This is thundering hooves and pounding hearts. Ladbrokes have saved their best odds of the year for the Spring Carnival. Yours in the Coolmore Stakes at Flemington. Who will you bet against?
Hide and seek, out you be, hiding in the corner, kiss me on the cheek. When I come and find you, you will hide again. I'll close my eyes and count to 10.
If your credit card's hiding, you can now lock it until you find it. Can your bank give you extra security when you really need it? CommBank can.
Welcome back. A fiery truck crash on the far north coast has closed the Pacific Highway. The two semis collided just after lunchtime at Chindera near Tweed Heads. One was loaded with timber, providing extra fuel for the fire, which took crews half an hour to control. Both drivers escaped without injury. It caused long delays for southbound drivers. The family of legendary horse trainer Bart Cummings has been urged to sort out its dispute over his will behind closed doors. His son Anthony is challenging sisters Sharon and Anne-Marie, who want changes to how the estate is divided up. But the court case was adjourned today, with Anthony involved in the Spring Racing Carnival. They've been urged to enter mediation before the case resumes in February. Gina Reinhardt and her Chinese partners now look set to seize control of Australia's biggest holding of pastoral land. 4 Australian farming families have withdrawn their $386 million offer for the Kidman & Co empire. As Reinhardt's group beat their offer by $500,000, which will still need approval by the Foreign Investment Review Board. A tiny electrical cord is proving a godsend for Australians suffering chronic pain. It stops damaged nerves, sending pain signals to the brain. And it's making what can be an excruciating life livable again.
Sean Timms knows unbearable pain. A lower leg amputation 2 years ago started a cycle of agony.
Great big massive electric shock, mainly of a night time.
Now the 41-year-old is taking back control with a breakthrough procedure. Doctors weave an electrical lead over the troublesome nerves responsible.
We're not far off having the leads in a perfect position.
That device sends out a current, intercepting impulses that were headed for the brain.
We can block them in a way that stops the patient feeling that pain.
Sean's device is switched on and he's got his life back.
To me, it's better than a birthday.
Australian doctors developed the treatment. They're now training surgeons in the United States.
Pain scores less than 2 out of 10 once we've treated them.
The treatment will work best if damaged nerves are the source of the pain, including patients who've had those nerves severed during surgery. It was training for the Kokoda Trail that did it for Peter Burke. Carrying a heavy backpack has left him riddled with pain.
Sitting for any length of time, particularly the car, became a nightmare.
The DRG stimulation treatment worked for him too. He notices the simple things most.
With a much greater degree of comfort, which has been fantastic. I couldn't be happier.
Sufferers can ask their GP about a referral to a pain doctor. Angie Asimus, 7 News.
It used to be commonplace, and now a way to manage your budget is coming back into fashion as Christmas creeps up. Don't miss that story soon on 7 News. Plus, what's disappearing from laptops of the future? And the excited koala that lost its way. Jim likes that. He's back again with sport. Jim, there's a challenge ahead for our cricketers.
Love a koala story, Michael. Yes, surely is. Going to be tough against South Africa beginning next week. Good evening to you again and good evening, everyone. Coming up, who's in and who missed out for the first test, and a backhander from the chairman of selectors to Michael Clark. Plus, will the Kangaroos bring back the biff in the Four Nations? And the Aussie sporting superstar like you've never seen him before. That's next.
I consider myself the Bridget Jones of Australia. I've been on so many dates. Yeah, the last date I went on, he said I wasn't pretty enough and I talked too much. So let's hope this guy's a gentleman. She's like, why are you still single? Because I've always been single, by the way.
Have you? Always?
Yeah, always.
Wow.
I got a refund from eHarmony. I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Like the last guy said I wasn't pretty enough.
New First Dates, Tuesday 7:30.
Kia's 7-day sale is on now. On top of great drive-away deals, receive a free $500 gift card across the range. Plus, Australia's only 7-year warranty. Hurry, Kia's 7-day sale ends Monday.
This is thundering hooves and pounding hearts. Ladbrokes have saved their best odds of the year for the Spring Carnival. Yours in the Victoria Derby at Flemington. Who will you bet against?
I just did an iSelect health cover checkup. We've been paying for pregnancy.
You're pregnant? Only pay for what you need, like hearing aids. Check your cover today and you'll always get it right.
Target the source of pain with Colgate's Breakthrough Sensitive Pro Relief Pen.
You don't have to be lucky to be with CrownBet Rewards. Members can use points for Crown hotels, restaurants, and even everyday items. Join right now and you'll receive $50 in rewards points to be used on all kinds of rewards. CrownBet. Reward yourself.
Is that ice cream? No, it's a Blue Ribbon Gelateria.
You really wouldn't like it.
It's got caramel and crunchy stuff. I like caramel and crunchy stuff.
New Blue Ribbon Gelateria. Way beyond ice cream.
All right, holiday time. Let's start with flights. Hotels. Oh, what next?
Anyone hungry?
Now for some me time.
Feel it. Breathe. Oh, I feel it. Enough. Whoa.
Perfect.
Don't wait. Book your summer holiday now at whatif.com, the home of holidays.
I'm a big fan.
For a bet you won't forget this Spring Carnival, visit your app, tab.com.au or your local Tab. Tab, we love a bet.
The Melbourne Cup's on Tuesday, so we've got the plate that will stop the nation.
Perfect for your Cup Day hamper.
Better Homes and Gardens, next.
Tab, we love a bet.
Welcome back, everyone. The entire Australian cricket team is on notice. Mass changes are coming if they start poorly in the Test series against South Africa. Paceman Joe Mennie is the new man in the 12 for Thursday's first Test in Perth. Shaun Marsh beat Joe Burns for the opening role, while Usman Khawaja was recalled.
It's Rod Marsh's last summer as the selection boss. He's not biting his tongue. On Michael Clark's book...
Well, I haven't read it. They don't write them, I guess, because of their literary skills. They write them to make money.
Then there's Usman Khawaja's claim he was dropped as a scapegoat during this year's 3-0 loss in Sri Lanka.
He probably opened his mouth before his brain got working. Might have been early in the morning. He loves to really not going to say that.
I think it was taken out of context a little bit. So, yeah, not really.
Khawaja's back, but a Shield 100 wasn't enough for Joe Burns. Shaun Marsh retained his place with 73 and 110 for WA on an improving hamstring injury. His brother Mitch is running out of chances as the all-rounder.
Yes, he needs to bowl well and bat well, Mitch. He really does. And unfortunately in the Shield game he did neither.
Joe Mennie went from Coffs Harbour through Sydney to Adelaide for a chance. The leading Sheffield Shield wicket-taker with 51 last summer, Mennie was preferred over Jackson Bird.
The thing that probably cost him a place was his batting.
I do feel I'm ready. I've got a sort of good knowledge of my game. If there's any going to be a time, it's going to be now.
But if they lose either of the first two tests...
I would predict changes.
Matt Carmichael, 7 News.
Usman Khawaja made just 12 at the Gabba today as the Blues thrashed Queensland by 225 runs in the Sheffield Shield opener. Doug Bollinger subbed in for Mitchell Starc and took 4 wickets. Confirmation today, hooker Mitch Rain is on the move from the Dragons, signing a 1-year deal to join the Panthers. And the Kangaroos say there's no interest in bringing back the Biff ahead of their Four Nations opener tomorrow against Scotland.
Even with 5 debutants, the Aussies are expected to steamroll the Scots. While the Kangaroo squad is somewhat experimental, one of the veterans believes the newcomers could challenge for positions later in the tournament if they put in a standout performance.
Young guys these days, all they need is an opportunity. You see them and they grab it with both hands, and the next minute they've played 10, 20 tests or something like that. So Mal's a smart coach. He inspires his players and gives them an opportunity. Then it's up to those kids to take that opportunity and how far they run with it.
Scotland features a few faces you may know. Luke Douglas, Lachlan Coote, Kane Linnett and Ewan Aitken will all start for the underdogs. Aitken qualifies to play through his late grandfather.
It's going to be weird, I suppose, when you're singing a different national anthem to you're used to, but it's part of who I am.
Their NRL experience proving valuable in preparing for the showdown.
I've played against the majority of them, so I can speak up when, work on their strengths and weaknesses.
The tiny stadium on the outskirts of Hull brings back memories of old-style suburban footy, but it's old-style regulations which are causing some concern. Tournament chiefs have confirmed that throwing a punch won't mean automatic time in the sin bin, but the players are saying not to expect too much aggro.
We've got to inspire a generation of kids to play. We've got to respect the game, and from our point of view, we play the game hard, but we play it fair.
Exactly what the league-mad fans in this city demand. In Hull, Ben Lewis, 7 News.
Fijian recruit Marika Koroibete denies being guaranteed a Wallabies jersey. He's a controversial selection for the UK tour after finishing the NRL season with the Melbourne Storm. Koroibete hasn't played rugby since high school.
I'm not expecting a game, just expecting to train as hard as I can, try to impress the coaching staff.
Michael Hooper goes on tour as a 2-time John Eales medalist after last night's awards. The Wanderers host the Mariners at Spotless Stadium tomorrow night. And Andrew Redmayne will stay as their first-choice goalkeeper. He's been heavily criticised for conceding 2 late goals in the draw against Newcastle. But coach Tony Popovic says he has no problem with Redmayne's form. He's become the F1 fan favourite, and Daniel Ricciardo is getting right into the spirit of Mexico's Day of the Dead festival before this weekend's Grand Prix in Mexico City. Ricciardo's been hailed for his larrikin behaviour during another season dominated by Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. He drinks champagne out of his shoe. He's got face paint, nothing that Aussie Dan can't do. You and I won't be swanning around Flemington tomorrow. We'll be right here, but our telecast of Derby Day starts from 11 a.m. Can't wait.
Well, we shall be watching it then.
You bet we will.
Jim, thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
Apple cut the iPhone's headphone jack in the latest model. Now MacBooks are losing their function keys. That row is being replaced with a touch panel that adapts to whichever program's in use. No details yet on when they're on sale here. It's now less than 8 weeks out from the annual raid of your bank account for Christmas gifts. But a perhaps old-fashioned budget protector, the lay-by, is making a comeback with a twist.
Mum, Kelly Milner, has found a way to cut through the stress and debt of Christmas.
I've already paid them off. They've been delivered 100%. It's done. It's like Christmas is done.
Her trick? Old-fashioned lay-by, but online.
It's up to 52-week lay-by, which is the longest I know of in Australia.
Far more than the standard 8-week lay-by, minus the traditional service fee and deposit. My lay-by delivers straight from the factory after products are paid for in small weekly or fortnightly deductions.
This is a popular toy this Christmas, $130, which is $250 a week over 52 weeks. Which is less than a cup of coffee.
I got some really nice Dior perfume for my daughter for Christmas, and just a lot of toys, swings.
Along with Christmas presents, lay-bys are ideal if you're planning big events in advance, like weddings, setting up a new home, or having a baby. And many baby stores offer extended lay-bys for up to 3 months.
Lay-bys are great for young families on a budget, able to pick up a bargain.
When you weigh up the staggering interest rates on credit cards, look, clearly lay-by can be a very cost-effective option.
And potentially saving big dollars by avoiding post-Christmas credit card shock. Always read the terms and conditions to avoid cancellation and missed payment fees. Helen Wellings, 7 News.
This Sunday is your chance to take on champion Olympic walker Jared Talent in the Seven Bridges Walk. You can do all or part of the 28-kilometre course to raise money for the Cancer Council. It takes in 7 landmark locations, including the Harbour and Anzac Bridges. All the details of this are on the 7 News website. The day's finance is coming up in 7 News, plus the excited koala nursing a nasty bruise tonight. And
a brief shower or two is possible throughout tonight. I'll tell you how the weekend is shaping up next.
Go Gadget Chopper.
He's the ultimate crime-fighting machine. Matthew Broderick is Inspector Gadget, next on 7 Flicks.
For as long as you remember, you've brushed all your teeth diligently. Twice a day, right? But 80% of your mouth's bacteria aren't even on your teeth.
80%?
Shocking, isn't it? That's why you need Colgate Total. It fights bacteria on teeth, tongue, cheeks and gums. So 100% of your mouth surfaces get protected every time you brush. Colgate Total, for whole mouth health. And for an even healthier mouth between brushings, try Colgate Total mouthwash.
Trying to get a look at the runners? Open the Sportsbet app, now with updated form, comments and ratings, new animated speed maps and expert tips courtesy of Best Bets. Sportsbet's new racing form. Oh, I found this on the ground from some bird.
Ah, you're off to Great Britain.
Oh, there's so much to fit in.
Discover the home of amazing moments. Fly Emirates return to London from $1,659. Add 4 nights from $439.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Be ready for next with Colonial First State, Australia's largest provider of retirement solutions. Talk to an advisor to see how Colonial First State can help you.
To be loved by you allowed me to feel again.
Marry me. We can help her. You're going to be a wonderful father.
I'll protect you, I promise.
You have a very lovely daughter.
It's her mother.
I'm her mother.
With love forever and ever and ever.
The Light Between Oceans in cinemas November 3.
The Amarok Highline run-out sale now on. From only $53,990 drive away. With free 8-speed auto plus $2,000 cash back. You just know they won't be in the showroom for long.
This is Spring Carnival. This is Caulfield, the Valley, Flemington and Sandown. This is thundering hooves and pounding hearts. This is where a nose can be the difference between fame and being forgotten. This is horse racing at its best. This is the Spring Carnival. Who will you bet against?
The Melbourne Cup's on Tuesday, so we've got the plate that will stop the nation.
It's perfect for your Cup Day hamper.
Everyone will be cheering for more.
Bursting with spring herbs.
Whip it up before the Cup.
It's really simple.
Better Homes and Gardens, next on 7.
The Cash Cows weekend winners, $20,000, $60,000, $80,000. Tomorrow, the $70,000 cash call. Changing lives. Ka-ching.
Tonight's 7 News headlines: a man in custody accused of a deadly attack on a Brisbane bus driver. The victim doused in petrol and set on fire in front of passengers. For the first time, a father pays tribute to his 2 adult children killed in the Dreamworld ride tragedy. The theme park will reopen after the victims' funerals. A father to die in jail given a record sentence 48 years for abusing his daughter. Police investigating whether this car on fire is linked to a gangland shooting as the man gunned down is buried. And breaking news in rugby league, South extend Michael Maguire's contract until at least the end of 2019. To finance, and the ASX 200 fell for the 3rd straight day, losing another 12 points. AMP was among the financial stocks hit hard. The news was better for BHP Billiton, it added 47 cents. And the Aussie dollar is back below 76 US cents. A short-sighted koala has suffered a bit of a bump on the head in a wildlife sanctuary in Port Stephens. There it happens. The orphan marsupial was playing with his keeper when he got just a little bit too excited and ran head-on into a tree. He was slightly dazed, but not hurt. There you go. Now, Angie, I spoke over you before very rudely. It's now your turn with the weekend weather forecast.
Thank you, Michael, very much. Good evening. It was a gloomy end to the working week across the region. There wasn't much in the way of rainfall in those clouds, though, but it was certainly a little cooler than we've been used to. We were just shy of 20 degrees for a maximum in the city, following a minimum of 14.7. We recorded a few mils in the gauge across the suburbs. That, combined with easterly winds, kept maximums to the high teens for most centres, which is up to 7 degrees below average. Manly, though, made it to 20, also the top for Gosford. From the satellite, isolated showers and storms are firing up over the state's northeast here. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in place for that region. Tomorrow, the embedded weak surface trough responsible will remain in place, and we will just see some light falls continue across our coast as a result. Checking the national forecast for the start to the weekend tomorrow, a mostly fine day ahead for Brisbane, a top of 28 degrees. A brief shower possible in Canberra, staying fine though for Melbourne and Hobart, and a stunner for Adelaide, sunny and 30 degrees. Perth may see a shower and 21 for a maximum. If you're spending the day on the water, winds will be east-northeasterly at 20 to 25 knots throughout the day on a 1 metre swell. No break in the clouds tonight, unfortunately. We may even see another shower or two, and similar conditions continuing into tomorrow with a top of 23 degrees, so slightly warmer. Across the region, the highest chance of showers will be during the afternoon. There's also the low risk of a late storm. A warmer day all round, though, 23 degrees at Ryde and Manly, 22 for Castle Hill and Parramatta. Statewide, most of the instability will be centred along the coast, particularly in the northeast corner here, warming up in the far west though, with tops getting up into the 30s. Now, our pollen count from tomorrow is coming in at low. Looking ahead to the 7-day outlook, fine weather is likely at first on Sunday with the chance of late rain. It will be very warm too, getting up to 28 degrees in the city and 31 in our west to finish off the weekend, clearing into a mostly fine working week, which is good news, including blue skies on Tuesday, Melbourne Cup Day. Looking good, Michael.
Angie, thank you very much for that. And that is 7 News for this Friday. We'll have updates for you throughout the evening, and Weekend Sunrise is from 7 a.m. I'm Michael Usher. From all of us here, thank you for your company. Have a great night.
Iconic sporting events, but for most Australians, the Melbourne Cup Carnival is more about the people and purebreds than it is about the prize money. So tonight we're celebrating one of our more famous traditions in true Better Homes and Gardens style. Come on, Fizzy! Dr. Harry catches up with some racing royalty.
These horses are legends, true legends.
They're kicking up their heels in a well-earned retirement. Also, fancy fritters.
Perfect for your Cup Day hamper.
But if you're having a picnic, remember the kids.
But this one I'm building, it comes with a little added extra. Oh, the suspense.
Graham finds Nirvana.
The garden of pure enlightenment.
Or how about a magic mosaic garden?
Kind of looks like she's always looking at you. She's still looking at me.
Don't forget, Halloween's just around the corner. And Ed's got some finger-licking spooky snacks.
Guess what? These pigs even fly.
Plus, introducing the coolest apprentice ever, Michaela. Ready to work?
Yeah.
Michaela's big sister gets a grown-up makeover. Oh my God! That's coming up on Better Homes and Gardens.
Well, I couldn't be further from home if I tried. That there is the Indian Ocean. I'm in Perth in WA, and we're in the northern suburbs to meet a couple named Lisa and Paul, who have turned their hobby into a career and their garden into a gallery. Well, I think I've definitely found it. She's not like any of the neighbours.